Now, the DA has released a statement on the new Eskom Board announced yesterday by Minister Pravin Gordhan. The official opposition says the deployment of ANC man Bheki Ntshalintshali brings no value to the power utility. The DA further states that it's willing to cautiously provide support to the new board in the interests of the country. DA Shadow Minister of Public Enterprises Ghaleb Cachalia joins us now. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Talk to us about some of your concerns. Of course, we saw for the first time since 2018, all 13 vacancies of the board have been filled, but you've raised a concern about a certain individual. Talk to us about that.
It's not just one individual, and in hindsight, the statement that I put out rather sugarcoats the matter, even if it doesn't come across as such. Let me give some background. We've had 10 CEOs in 10 years, and many boards and many changes, tasked with the future of Eskom. The net result is they've only made it worse. Now there's much fanfare about the new board, led by, let's start with the chair, Makwana, who was a non-exec member from 2002 in Eskom to 2012. 10 years. And CEO for 1 year between 2009 and 2010. It's common cause that he's one of Pravin Gordhan's favorite protégés stroke appointees. And you must remember that going back a while when he was CEO, he earned double salaries in Eskom and was grilled by the portfolio committee at the time, before my time, I might say. Now, yes, we have a new board. 6 engineers, 3 CAs, a lawyer, a change management expert, 1 energy policy expert, and 1 ex-head honcho of COSATU, and a firm part of the government's tripartite alliance, which has been a problem in dealing with Eskom in many ways, not least in terms of its bloated labor force and the outrageous demands for salaries which have been put forward, which Eskom can ill afford because we all know about its parlous financial situation. But let us ask, in view of this, what is the purpose of a board? Now, the board, as I understand it, is to ensure that a company is directed to prosperity by directing company affairs and here's the key, with the appropriate taking into consideration the appropriate interests of the shareholders and relevant stakeholders. Now, the shareholder is government. There's no shareholders. It's one shareholder. So what are the interests of the shareholder? Normally, a board will deal with, recruitment, compensation, direction, governance, how the company is governed and directed via the CEO to effect smooth running of things and no conflicts of interest. But, we know that hasn't happened. And I'm worried that it will not happen, but let's see. Now, what are the interests of the shareholder?
Mr. Cachalia, the other mandate of this board is to support the efforts of Eskom's executive leadership to improve the performance of its power stations, which we know are susceptible to the breakdowns, which essentially lead to the blackouts. That's also one of the key priorities of this board. Are you saying that there's no confidence when you take a look at the composition and the challenges that we face? Do you think that the board is not going to be able to manage the turnaround that South Africans are expecting?
Let's be absolutely clear here. This is not business as usual. It is not a board even looking at, we have a crisis event, as it's termed. This is a crisis, a fundamental and endemic crisis that has been many years in the making. And it can't be business as usual and boards as usual, which we've had to try and keep the lights on, because that has patently failed. We need to take drastic steps. Now, we've said there should be drastic steps put forward. These drastic steps, we've called for a ring-fence state of disaster around Eskom, which will allow the shareholder, through proper governance and in a very transparent way, which we've yet to see, to ensure that what is required needs to be done as advised by experts, by engineers, by people who don't just meet once a month but are there on a daily basis to ensure that this crisis is stemmed and that the hemorrhaging of economic loss that we are facing is dealt with. These circumstances are absolutely abnormal. In the past, the so-called dream team of Ian McRae, its key people there were all proficient in design, procurement, financing, project management, construction, commissioning, testing, operations and maintenance, and they were in the belly of the company on a daily basis. Yes, there's a role for a board, but the board is not going to fix things. This requires surgical treatment. This company is in ICU. You do not treat it as business as usual. You do not have a board and then talking shops sitting in the house of the president, in the presidency, and then say that we cannot divulge what's going on there because it's top secret. I mean, this is command and control nonsense.
We heard President Cyril Ramaphosa this afternoon saying that the problems of Eskom emanate from the past, apologizing again to South Africans for the impact of load shedding. Also speaking to the board, saying that the new board will need to do a proper examination of the challenges and really come out with something solid. What are your expectations of this board? What will this board need to do to assure the nation?
A board is not able to take a company in this particular situation, as I said, a company in ICU, out of it. This is a board, as I alluded to earlier, deals with various generic issues as stipulated. You've got to get beyond that. You can't be, we have a remuneration committee, an HR committee, or this committee, or that committee. No. We've got to take the bull by the horns here. California has an ongoing electricity commission. When price hikes were first mooted in this country, the De Villiers Commission was put in place. That price hike was tiny, and that division changed things fundamentally. We've had eye-watering price hikes that we've paid for, that are mooted for us to have continually, and we get no electricity from it. We've got to fix this in a way that is completely radical. And this government seems to be dealing with it in the only way it knows how, as business as usual. Yes, we'll do the right thing in the right way, and we'll keep you posted. Well, it hasn't worked, sir, for a very long time. I'm worried that it ain't going to work anymore.
And in terms of the list of priorities, I mean, you've made mention of the role of a board and your position on it. But when it comes to the priorities that will need this board to assist the Eskom management in really making huge strides in ensuring that households have electricity and business and the economy doesn't continue to suffer, what do you think should be on that list?
Well, the list is for the executives and the people in the belly of the beast to come up with. Those people have to be. It's maintenance. It's reliability maintenance, and that involves reliability maintenance includes maintenance systems, fuel, and competency in engineering speak. Those things have to be dealt with, and those things have to be dealt with without let or hindrance. There has to be a freedom that they have to deal with these. And all the issues that stood in the past, issues like BEE, procurement, localization, etc., bloated staff issues, those have to be on the chopping board to be dealt with effectively. If we attempted to do that with COVID, I suspect if someone does the sums as to what COVID cost this country and what over the period of time that electricity has cost this country and is going to cost this country, we might be surprised in a very bad way. Why can't we do this in a ring-fenced and transparent manner to ensure not dealing with it as business as usual? You know, as I said, boards are appointed and you have crisis events. Yes, I was in crisis management myself. You deal with it and then you fix it. This is not an event. This is an endemic situation.
Very well.
My lights came on 5 minutes before we logged on, thank God.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there for now, but thanks for weighing in and giving the DA's point of view. The DA's Shadow Minister of Public Enterprises, Ghaleb Cachalia, speaking and reacting to the composition of the new Eskom board. Let's